Welcome in, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Jane. I'm a little PO'd at the moment because I was given a vision of Anubis, and I didn't know what the Anubis meant because I'm not really familiar with all of the Egyptian gods and goddesses. So they had me pull out a bunch of decks, and which I did, and I'm just going to pull a few of these out of here, pull them away. Now, I did a little research about what having a vision of Anubis could represent, and it has given me several different things. Why I'm a little annoyed is because I had closed the reading, and when I went to check my camera, it had not recorded. So I've had like some negative energy that has been going on the past few days around me. And because they asked me to do like a protection before I started this reading. So I'm not sure like why it didn't work or what's going on, but you could also be having some kind of negative things happening to you. So this is, I'm just going to get into it. I'm just going to explain why about all these cards that, I mean, they literally all came out, and I'm so annoyed about it, but I'm just going to move on. So there must be something here for me to learn out of this situation. So we have, so it either signifies, so the vision of Anubis is a profound spiritual support. It signifies either personal change, the end of a life phase, emotional healing, or spiritual awakening. The guardian of souls that helps souls navigate threshold between life and afterlife. It also can symbolize the justice and balance, which is weighing of the heart, and reflects the need to confront your actions, values, and inner truths. Encourages honesty and alignment with your higher self. And so basically, and I was getting the word life review. So when we pass away and we cross over, we go through like a life review of all the situations, the people that we inadvertently hurt or purposely hurt, and just to show us like how we could have done things better. There's no negative like, oh, bad girl, bad boy kind of attitude that goes on. You know, it's all done through love. So there's it's, or it could be like a connection to the shadow self, which embodies you know, the buried truths and repressed emotions, and also spiritual rebirth. So his presence can indicate a spiritual rebirth or return to a life after a period of emotional or mental darkness. And it's a guide to help you to return to that life with clarity and purpose. Now, I was getting, when I was researching all that, I was looking up, or I was, sorry, all like put out of, got my nose all out of joint today because of what happened with it not recording. So this is, I was thinking that you were probably somebody that was in like a long hermit stage. And during that is where you go to find all of those dark moments of your life where you know you have no choice but to deal with the pain and any of the suffering that has gone on in your life. Now, these three cards came out: precognition, which is psychic ability, future vision; deep emotions, unknown feelings or past influences; hidden knowledge, akashic records; silent understanding. You have Nuot here, and she is like the goddess of the dark, which is like the dream world. So she is the one that is, you know, this is the goddess that talks about being in your dream state and how your soul goes into an astral plane to, you know, live out different timelines, or, you know, deal with like past life issues. And that's why I was talking earlier in the first video or not video, I guess, about how you can, wake up one morning and like you could have tossed and turned all night, and you wake up in the morning and you're just in a really sour mood because you didn't remember your dream perhaps. But maybe something in that dream was showing you something that put you in that bad mood. It made you deal with those unknown feelings, you know what I mean, that you didn't even know because it happened in a dream state. So, and then we have Thebes here. I mean, Anubis, I just went through that because I had that down, like, because I had the vision of Anubis, which I had never had a vision of him before. So Thebes here is about a temple where you can go to meditate and pray. And it's, this was like a big necropolis in Egypt. And that's where, like, it was in the city of the living. So that's where they would, like, put all their dead. And, and so that the dead would be amongst the living. Okay. Okay, so then I brought out a tarot deck here, and the star card came out, which is peace and healing, which we just discussed about when I had that Nubis vision. And then the card awakening came out with the renewal and enlightenment. So what they're trying to explain here is with these future visions, and the precognition is like, you just know, you know what's coming, like, you'll just, it's just having that knowing. Okay. And then the star card is all about like healing and hope and spiritual awakening, right? And then you have the awakening again, which comes out under deep emotions, which is about the renewal and the enlightenment. So I think what's going on in your dream state, you're having these you're getting these stories or information of some sort is coming to you. And the Thebes also recommends to do a journaling, a sleep journal. You also have like the Four of Shells here, which is about the soul searching and the reevaluation. And this is where they talk about like all that hidden knowledge, because I started off with talking about the moon and how the moon is, about like things that are hidden from you. So it could either be external things are hidden from you, which possibly could be, or it could be, both. It could be, things that are hidden from within your own psyche that you're not aware of, that you need to purge through. And that's, when you go into that hermit mode and you stay there for a really long time, that's what that is all about. That is all about you looking into your shadow self and finding, the and like weighing out the balance of those emotions, you know what I mean, and dealing with them, addressing them. And then you have the Eight of Wands, which comes out underneath Nuwa here, which tells me that things are coming to you in your dreams and that they're powerful. And you have the chameleon here. The chameleon is all about the Eight of Wands is about creativity too. But the chameleon is about how it's able to adapt into different environments. So this, I think, has to do about your astral planing. It's where you're going in your astral when you're sleeping. Now, I mean, all souls do this. So this might be something that, if you wake up in the middle of the night, it might be wise for you to just jot down what that dream was, then go back to sleep. Because those nights that you're having that tossing and turning, it's because messages are trying to come to you. You know what I mean? Now the swords, the Nine of Swords, that's also, they didn't want me so much reading like what the swords were about or anything like that. But, it's all about, they want me just to read the pictures. So here you have a lot of bats. Now the bats are, creatures that use echolocation to find their food, to, navigate the skies and in the dark. There was a lot about the darkness here. So I don't know if you're in a really dark place or you've been dealing with a lot of dark emotions. And, the bats are, they don't think about, I'm getting like this heavy heart pressure going on here. So you could be going through a heart awakening. explosion I heard. With the bats here, they, they don't think about questioning their intuition. They don't think about it. They just do it. You know what I mean? Also, I was thinking how like the bats are hanging upside down. I was noticing how like it reminded me of the Hanged Man. And then here, I was talking about here, like where they, finding this place to worship basically with your meditations, with your prayers, and they talked about the journaling. And then it came out here with the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is like the joining of two souls. So, and I notice also it's in the moonlight, and it's a really rare mystical creature here, which is the unicorn. I don't know if you can see that or not. And this is like a really magical type place, right? So I think that no matter what you do in the world, you're always going to have this light shining on you. Like that light is always going to be there if you want it, if you want to tap into it. Now it takes work. This isn't something that you can just do in a day, or maybe some people can't even do it in a lifetime. Now here, I'm not really sure with this card, if this card is about like the sun is coming up or the sun is going down, and that's why these bats are now in flight, because some are in flight and some are still in their intuition. So, some people could be already taking flight and, reaching that spiritual, magical place, and others are still in this hermit phase. Then I had pulled out another deck, and the Time to Shine came out, and I was talking about how like there was a lot about the pyramids today, and then it says create an energetic resonance for golden opportunities. And then the Abracadabra card, again, it looks like another pyramid, and I noticed that it's like number 32 and number 23. So that's where like whatever you're doing in your world, you're mirroring what's coming back to you. So the 32 and the 23, they both break down to a 5. So 5 is all about change. And I was talking about how the 5s in like the tarot deck are all about like struggle. You know what I mean? Like they're about conflict. It's about, yeah, because, before that I was talking about Sekhmet here. And Sekhmet is a goddess that is about love and war. So I had a feeling that maybe, you're going through a lot of internal struggle. You're going through a lot of war within your own soul. Yeah. Okay. And then with this deck here, I noticed that I was talking about, and where they're talking about like the meditation and doing breath work and stuff like that, the sacred breath and sound, life force communication came out, was on the bottom. Again, another 10. And then I noticed like telepathy, so transmission, perception, and communication. So this is where spirit is constantly in communication with you, but I don't know if you're getting the messages or not. And here there's a portal, so infinite mind, awakening consciousness. So they're trying to awaken your consciousness in some way, shape, or form, and I believe they're trying to do it through your dreams. Now, some people, they're doing it through their dreams because they're not able to connect in the waking. I wanted to say like the living time, but I think that's where they're trying to give me this message here, where like in the dark we sleep, we go into the astral, so they're communicating with you there. But then there's some of us that are already awakened, and we could communicate in our waking hours. Okay. Now the other thing too, I noticed here, the cards, I got them mixed up, but the death card was on the bottom after I finished shuffling here, and the death card is all about rebirth, basically, right? And then, I was talking about how like this turtle, like turtles lay hundreds and hundreds of eggs at a time, and very few actually make it to grow to be full grown. So, a lot of them are picked off by birds, and a lot of them are you know, swallowed up by the sea with big fish and whatnot. So, you know, it's not an easy journey, is what I'm trying to say. And that I was getting the song Wind Beneath My Wings with this bird here. So there could be something in that song that you could look up. So it's the wind beneath my wings. Okay. And then underneath that was the Wheel of Fortune. So this is, I was talking earlier about how, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, the, you know, nothing ever stays the same. Like there, it's always like a continuation of life, basically. You know what I mean? A continuation. So now, so if you're going through like this really hard ship right now, just know that it's not something that's going to last forever, right? And also I was noticing that it looked like a portal, because when I was talking about a portal, the card here, portal, popped out. So it's the infinite mind, waking of the consciousness. So, and then underneath that, I didn't, you know, when I was talking about the Hangman, which I didn't realize this card was, you know, here in this deck, and then the Hangman popped out again with more of the swirling. So I think that you've been going through a lot. Well, I think it's for two groups, because I believe that you're going through a lot of, you've gone through a lot of hardship. You've, you know, you've had to rise up out of all this pain and suffering. And, but, you know, like the Segment card here, it talks a lot about having, you know, the courage, and that there could be a lot of conflict happening and things like that, you know, and just be prepared for that battle, basically. But also, she's all about love. Okay. And I wish it really would have recorded, because it was really, you know, fascinating the way all the cards came out. So I had picked out this thing here, and I'm going to read this because I don't remember what it was all about. I'm just kind of giving you a rundown of what this reading was about. And I'm actually going to redo the reading to see how this happens, and then I'll put them back to back and load them up. But this here, this card here, is about fire of resilience. And Shiva, the god, fire element, removes toxins and aids circulation. So this is warming, immunity, and balances masculine and feminine energy. And that was something I did talk about earlier, because I was talking about like the symbol of, when I had that thing about Anubis, and it was talking about the symbol of justice and balance, and about weighing of the heart, and how like he reflects like the need to confront your actions, your values, your inner truths, and encourage you to have honesty and alignment with your higher self. And that's where I wrote down like the life review, because that's where, like, you know, when you pass away, you'll have like a life review, right? So you can do that in like before you even pass away, right? Okay. So it says here, so spiritually speaking, this card is letting you know you are stronger than you think. Practice this mudra to help to bring heat into your body and cleanse yourself of impurities and toxins. Visualize a fire burning away everything that no longer serves you. Poor health, low self-esteem, negative patterns of thought or behavior. Linga helps you to build strength, clarity, and immunity, and shore up resilience to face life with optimism, energy, and zest. This mudra is a sign you are being called to shift your perspective on your current situation. You are encouraged to see your life as the beautiful gift it is and move forwards with a new spring in your step. So there's an affirmation when you're sitting here in this contemplation, you know, quiet moments or whatever, is the flame at my center burns bright and clear. I am strong. I am powerful. Okay, so that was basically the gist of the whole reading. Now I'm going to redo the reading, because there could be, sometimes when they do this, it's just a direct message for me, but I felt that it was so important that it was to be shared, you know what I mean? So I'm going to share this one online, and then I'm going to redo a new run for everyone so that you can all get something out of it too. So, bye everyone.